can't tell you how completely happy I am to have you here tonight. You're both so perfect, so good-looking, so sweet. Oh, I know I shouldn't say such things, but I just can't behave like everybody else. When I think something, I have to say it. I know I'm too forward, too open. What was it that poor old Archduke used to say? Ah, yes. Elizabeth, you are an innocent. How true. But then there were those other people, those terrible, vulgar people, who didn't trust me as I trusted them. But you're not like them. I know we're going to be good friends, the three of us. Oh, well, anyway, as long as we're stranded here together in this sinister, deserted caravanserai, I can't tell you how much I despise this sort of place, especially in winter when there's no one. I just fled from exactly... Oh, here we have our pretty Ilona. Come. Let me introduce you to my new friends, Mr. and Mrs. Chilton. Mademoiselle Ilona Roxy, my secretary. Would Mademoiselle Ilona care for a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Don't sulk. There's no reason for it. Not one. We just had a little squabble. Just now. What do you expect? We've been friends for so long. You know, they were married only 2 days ago.
How very happy they must be.
Yes. Very. The evening paper? You don't have any accent at all. Bruges must be lovely. Did you like it?
Well, yes, I did. But how do you know?
Here, look. I'm not a sorceress. Oh, that's you, darling. Aren't those crimes horrifying? And yet so fascinating. I knew where you'd spent the day because Pierre told me.
Pierre?
Our concierge, whenever one wants to know something, one asks Pierre.
You seem to take quite an interest in us.
And you in me? Surely Pierre must have told you I was Hungarian.
We're all very nosy, you know.
And what else did he tell you?
That you had been here 40 years ago. Which is absurd, of course.
Of course.
Excuse me. This is my newspaper.
Oh, I didn't know it was yours.
Never mind, never mind.
So we have a new guest in the hotel.
I'm no guest here, ma'am. I was just passing by, stepped in, out of the rain.
We were just interested in reading about the murders in Bruges.
So many people are taking an interest in those murders. Like you, monsieur, this afternoon. You seemed rather disturbed.
Did I? May I ask what you're doing here now?
Monsieur is a policeman, so that's not surprising at all. Not at all. So you're just passing by?
I'm honored, madame, to be remembered. After such a long time.
Is there anything to remember?
I, for one, madame, could never forget.
I really don't know what you're talking about.
It has been a long time. I'm retired now, and murder can only be a kind of hobby to me.
A girl's death is hardly a source of amusement, monsieur.
Ah, madame, those Bruges murders are rather special. One might say classic. The kind of things you read about in medieval manuscripts. You know, silly tales about ghouls chased away by garlic, and vampires shrinking from crosses and running water and daylight. Satan's ritual under a full moon.
I don't know about my friends here, but I find your conversation almost distasteful.
I seem to have dampened things.
Let's put all unpleasant people and unpleasant things out of our minds. Let's resume the conversation, Stefan. You don't mind my calling you Stefan, do you?
If you like.
How old do you think I am?
Well, I don't know, really. 30. Maybe 35.
35? Do you hear that, Ilona? Oh, I'm much, much older than that.
But you're so young and beautiful.
How very sweet of you, Ferry. Isn't she sweet, Ilona?
Then you must have a secret. Every woman would sell her soul to stay young.
Oh, it's very simple. A very strict diet. Lots of sleep. Stefan, I'm just dying for another drink. A very likable man, your husband. Slightly nervous, perhaps. How revolting it may be. But then things were slightly different in those days. A holy king of France, even a pope, drank blood to stay young and healthy. And then perhaps things aren't so different today. Think of all the bloodshed caused by war. Isn't that so, Stefan?
Sorry, I couldn't find the concierge. What was it you said?
I was telling Valerie about the history of our family, the Batories.
Listen to that. It's so...
So revolting and yet so interesting. Even though the Countess was buried over 300 years ago. The Countess Erzsébet Báthory, my ancestor. Erzsébet is Elizabeth in Hungarian, but she was best known as the Scarlet Countess.
Imagine. She bled 300 virgins to death.
Some say 800. A woman will do anything to stay young.
But drinking human blood.
She believed human blood was the elixir of youth.
Exactly. Do you know about her?
Yes, I've read of her. She kidnapped young girls and kept them chained. To give blood. Blood for her to bathe in and drink.
No.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And she hung them up by the wrists and whipped them until their tortured flesh was torn to shreds.
Oh, yes, that's it. And she clipped off their fingers with shears.
No.
She pricked their bodies with needles.
Yes. Yes, she tore out their nipples with silver pincers.
No.
And she bit them everywhere.
No.
And then she pushed white-hot pokers into their faces. And when they parted their lips to scream, she shoved the flaming rod up into their mouths.
Stop it.
Oh, yes, yes. Go on, go on.
She pierced their veins with rusty nails and slit their throats.
Stop it!
So that their white bodies pumped out young blood over her naked skin.
Stop it!
Blood, beautiful red blood.
Stop it!
Over her hands and her arms and her legs
Stop it.
and her face.
Stop it! Stop it, both of you. What's got into you, Stefan? What have you done to him? You're both...
Valerie is very much in love with you, isn't she? And you, do you love her?
How does the story end?
She was condemned to be walled up in her room. Her accomplices were executed.
And then?
Who knows?